So here we are.
Yay.
Alex is with us. He's under the weather. He doesn't want to show his face. So we can just call him a puss. That's what we can do. So before we
It's
get
more about the lights and this massive headache I have, Steve.
yeah, so before we get started, I had some issues with the Restream today and their chat. So Alex, if you could hit the platforms and send a test message from Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All right, there's Twitch.
Which word? Give me 1 second. I'm going to put on that.
They changed something. I used to be able to send messages on my end and they would show up, but the guy from tech support said they eliminated that. I don't know why. So, Irish connection, test from Ireland, so YouTube is good.
Let's see how.
No, we just need one from Facebook.
Yep. Well, how was your day so far, Steve?
Pretty good. I was off today. We went and got something to eat. We were pressed for time on the way back. Test from Ireland, YouTube is good.
Nice. You got auto-generated captions. That's pretty cool.
Cool. Hola the fuck today. All right. So it looks like everything's working. That is awesome. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in here. And whatnot. If you're just joining us, Alex is with us. He's hiding behind the why is the customer behavior getting worse picture. He's sick.
I've got the suds.
He's got the suds, so he's doesn't want to be on camera. He's got the light shut out at his place of residence because he has a headache. So that's fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, and I'm waiting for Hero to join today here in a few. She had to grab a hair dryer. Dude hired 5 people finally. Good luck keeping them, especially with what's coming.
Well, good thing though.
It's getting crazy out there right now, guys. It's this time shit ain't playing around.
Look, today is ready to beat them in. Work them in.
Yeah, work them in. You know, get them on the path.
Sir.
Hopefully they'll help you out some. That's always a good thing.
Hopefully they're 5 quality workers.
Well, where we live, I doubt their quality, but they're at least something.
Well, at least they're something to at least give the good ones some rest for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's one of those things, and, lots of fun. So we might have a little thin crowd tonight. I think a lot of people had to work from over in Twitter land. So
is what it is. They can watch it back on YouTube.
Exactly. So one thing I want to do, and this is something that I posted on Twitter, anybody that we have that is a follower or a supporter or whatnot, I want them to let me know what they have to sell, or, if you're an author or you sell art or something like that, I want to know about it. And in the description of our videos going forward on YouTube, there's going to be a section called Warzone wares / community products. And so thus far got 3, and this is who we got. We've got obviously Adam from Life on the Grocery Line. We also have Peter Larravy, who has written a book called Icon, has a few other books as well. And then we got All Fugget, which, is also at Blame Tag. The links to all their stuff is actually in the description of the video. So go check it out. And as we get more people that have different things going on, they'll get added to the list. But, it's free publicity, that they support the channel or whatnot. And, I want to give them a shout out as much as I can. So also to that point, Warzone Essentials Challenge, everybody get the shirt. Now is the time, because we're getting ready to head down that road It's starting to feel a lot like March 2020. And
Starting to feel like round
do
two.
not think for 1 minute that these companies who've been complaining that they couldn't get anybody to work because of unemployment are going to lay people off again. It's coming. So now
Round
is
two.
round two.
Get
Electric
ready to be
Boogaloo.
called essential again.
Yeah, but I don't think the essentials are going to take too kindly to it this time around. You know,
Not at all.
they got hoodwinked the first time. Second time, I don't think they're going to be so forgiving, which I hope is the case. So, you know,
I need to order me a since mask mandates are coming back. I need to order me a mask off of our merch.
yep, we have those too. So the Irish Connection sent me a picture. He got the coffee cups.
Matter of
The
fact, Steve, can you just throw up that link real quick in the chat so I can just go ahead and place an
I
order real
do
quick?
not have it available at this moment in time, sir.
Okay, I can find it because we have the Warzone website.
That is correct. And if you haven't checked out the Warzone website, the link is in the description as well. Go sign up as a member. There's two different things you can subscribe. And if you subscribe, you just get notifications when something gets posted, or you can become a member, which is free. And that allows you access to the forums if you so choose. So, it's one of those things. But it's been interesting. Oh, also too, tonight's episode is kind of like a part one. This is a two-part thing. So we've got tonight, why is the customer behavior getting worse? And we're going to go over all the responses that we got. And the next week is going to be why the customer employee relationship is broken. And they go hand in hand. This kind of starts us down that path. And then we'll get more into the relationship part of it next week. And then following that, I have a former district manager for a rather large convenience chain who will be on the show, spilling the tea. So I had a question asked. If we should be a little bit more harsh because they're DM. No, after having discussions with this person, they were one of the good ones. They were fighting and advocating for employees and raises and whatnot, and the company just was not going to give any more than they were giving. And they were just waiting to find another job, and they did, and they reached back out to me because I'd already talked to them before they left that job about being on and said, let me know when you're free and clear. And then I got the word yesterday. So they'll be on in 2 weeks. So that ought to be a good one too. So lots of stuff going on. I'm still waiting for the Dollar Tree gal. I don't know if she's going to respond. She responded initially that she was A-okay to be on the show. And then her thing went kind of viral and it was in Newsweek and whatnot. So I don't know what kind of situation she's in. It might be that it's reached a different kind of level where maybe we would not be the platform to talk on. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything back from her, but we've exchanged a few emails prior to it hitting Newsweek. But, that kind of stuff can change real fast. So, the chat's pretty quiet. Can people shoot messages over just to let me know that it's still working? Because, like I said, I was a little concerned about the restream thing. They told me one thing and whatnot, and I just wasn't sure that that was actually true. So, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So, we're still good. All good. Cool. All right. So, we asked the question, why do you think customer behavior is getting worse? I did it on Facebook, I did it on Twitter, I did it on Reddit, and I did it on Instagram. And not a damn soul answered on Instagram. They liked the picture, and all the picture was a question, but nobody responded. So that's fine. No big deal. But I got some cool stuff from everywhere else. So, Alex, you up for reading this, or do you need me to read it?
I can read it.
All right.
Very slow and very stuffy. But...
Well, there's a lot, so just be warned. So the first ones we did. So here's Facebook. Question for all: why do you think customer behaviors are getting increasingly worse? Alex, go ahead.
All right, it's a combination of two things: used to getting rewarded for having the adult equivalent of a toddler meltdown. The customer is always right has been a mantra for how long now? Second, retail therapy shopping used to make them feel better. Now it's a hassle and not working. Rather than doing some real therapy to find out why they're so miserable, they deal with their anger and frustrations by lashing out at whomever is nearby. Going back to the first point of the customer is always right, it never occurs to them that this behavior is wrong. So you have a bunch of man babies and need a timeout and a lesson in basic manners. Well said, my friend. No respect for others. The heat plays a small part. True. I don't think it's just in retail. It's the state of the world for today. The attitude, hatred, and blatant disrespect for other people is plunging society into the abyss. It's a lot of a generation issue, and people have learned that they can get by with whatever they want. It's going to take a movement of workers. That last one was me.
Mm-hmm. That first one was Hero.
Yep.
All right. More Facebook.
Lord. Yes, and I'm not even in customer service. People are ridiculous. They are being led to believe they have a right to be disrespectful. Decades of the customer is always right mentality, not just towards the workers, it's towards other customers too. I've noticed it a lot recently. No, I kind of agree with that one.
Yep.
Goes deeper than decades of the customer is always right. Decades and generation of a culture that constantly glorifies the value of fulfilling the desires of the individual over the stability over communal bonds and relationships. To an entitled customer, they're the rugged individual who refuses to be kept down by the man. And the retail employee is the embodiment of overbearing society whose rules serve only to thwart the fulfillment of their all important desires. In their head, every entitled customer is Luke Skywalker, and every retail employee is a faceless stormtrooper whose only purpose is to mindlessly enforce whose only purpose is mindlessly enforcing the rules of retail corporate empire. Nobody thinks twice about blasting a stormtrooper. Exceptional take. I still remember the days when all businesses were closed on Sunday except the occasional convenience store. That's a subject for another time, Steve, if we need to get retail closed on Sundays again. And most businesses were closed on Saturdays except services like lawnmower repair or department stores, for example. There was a bona fide work week of Monday through Friday, and then you had the weekend off, including holidays. Now you have to work on the holiday and get paid for it, where I would rather have the day off. Some places do not even offer holiday pay. So lucky to have that. All of that has gone to diminish to the communal society. All of my sales and customer service are on the damn phone, are done on the phone now. When a customer gets irate, I don't sit there, yes sir, yes ma'am. I push back and raise my voice at them now. Called me for help. Considering that I am not your punching bag today, you better calm down right now, or I'll move to the next customer that needs help. It works. You're referring to a time span during the pandemic when we're experiencing a lot of anger, confusion, and fear. I'd say it's just folks naturally acting out as any frightened animal would, but aiming that emotion at people they believe won't defend themselves. A person who tries to explain that they won't wear a bit of cloth over their mouth and nose because freedom is not thinking rationally, but trying to rationalize fear or anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I got this one, Alex. In Twitter. So I asked basically the same question, and these are the responses that I got. Our good friend Philly Essential Employee. Being locked up for so long, various Karens and Chads had nothing to direct their ego on. So now that states are open again, they have to catch up or release all that pent-up entitlement. Dharma Bum said, in my experience, a major factor was retailers enforcing the return policy. Hashtag dear customer being told they can't get their money back for clothing they've been wearing for years started wars. Declan Byrne. COVID people are just bored, and the only places open are shops, so people walk into shops just to moan to staff out of boredom due to COVID. That is my theory because I never noticed customers being extremely bad before COVID.
Oh,
Icon,
they were.
yeah, Icon author. I've got this one. It's pretty simple. Unchecked ego. It's becoming commonplace in our culture to allow people with delusions of grandeur to live in a bubble because popping that bubble is rude or will bring hell upon the unlucky person holding the pen. The ranty bastard. Self entitlement. They get 10 Facebook likes on a repost of someone else's shitty casserole recipe, and all of a sudden they think they wield all the power. That and the continued bullshit adage of the customer is always right, which gets supported by corporate over us. Yeah.
I like the Randy Bastard. I like what he said because I feel there is a lot of social media. I feel like there is a lot of social media influence on negative treatment workers.
Yep. And then, wait, there's more. This was today. This was our good friend, Blaine Tag. His was very well thought out. Says, my coworker said they feel it comes from people navigating multiple crises and the strong need for things to be back to normal. And everything reminding them things are not normal. Masks, seating restrictions, etc. just sets them on edge, and we're just in the line of fire. My opinion is that that the customer service industry has created a system that rewards bad behavior going all the way back to the customer is always right. The idea was always that we need to do everything to keep our customers coming back, and nothing else mattered. Statistics were thrown at us about what it costs to get new customers versus keeping current customers. And over time, that morphed into the practice of just open a vein and give them what they want. When coupled with general entitled attitudes, this is where can I talk to the manager or Karen culture came from. They knew from the reinforcement of their past behavior that they can get whatever they want if they make just big enough stink. There are a few reasons this reinforcement may be ending. The swing back to supporting workers over customers vis-a-vis who is more essential to the business at the moment. The general consensus that Karen behavior is bad and shouldn't be encouraged. The fact that in some cases kowtowing to these people makes others unsafe. As we've seen over and over again, people in cult environments, bad relationships, or systems that profit off the exploitation of others will often double down on the system or relationship that they're involved in. They literally can't see that their thing is wrong. And I think that's what we're experiencing now. The doubling down of the bad behavior from the inside of their entitled, rewarded for bad behavior little bubble. They literally cannot see that they may be the bad guys. And believe that is must be the people on the outside asking them to change and subtly refusing to reward that behavior who are in the wrong, so they rebel against it. So yeah, that's a pretty big one. And then
you got to see the spoiler in the next shot.
Yeah. Then Reddit. We had because we have to bend over backwards to make them happy. It's not even the customer's always right because everyone knows that's not true. It's the higher ups don't want bad reviews, so everyone has to bend over backwards to make the customers happy. Somehow, a threat of a bad review has gone from something ridiculous to something that we have to care about. This is 100% correct. It's better / easier to give them what they want than to have them call corporate. If it gets to that point, regardless of how wrong the customer is, they're going to get what they want. As a manager, I don't need the added stress of someone with no knowledge of the situation questioning my decision. While I know my gut tells me something different, I just take care of the customer and get on with my day. Yep, I'm an assistant manager and my bosses, quote unquote, the shop owners, are always whining about the bad reviews to me. 99% of them are from delivery customers who receive cold food because that's what happens to food when it's left out for more than 10 minutes, but somehow there has to be something I can do. And then this one's from one of our own. Okay, kind of serious theory for me. I wonder what you all think. Kleptomania. It is more common in women than men, more common in people a bit older, often manifests as a result of boredom later in life and gives them a minor feeling of accomplishment. Basically, they get a kick out of getting away with something. See where this is going? It's a recognized mental illness and not one with a lot of success in finding a cure. Anyway, retail in the past 30 years has set up stores and policies to attract the exact same kind of people to get kicks out of getting away with shit that they know they shouldn't get away with. Karen comes in and tries to return her dirty laundry with no tags and no receipt. Now, that's against store policy, and Karen knows this. But Karen also knows that by making a fuss, threatening to leave bad reviews, call corporate, and more often than I can understand, call the police, etc., that she will win. An overworked store manager will fold, issue a refund, and might even apologize for the store inconveniencing her just so they don't get a call from corporate about how that could have been handled better. So my theory is that Karen is a mental illness. It's on par and comes from the same root as kleptomania. Most common in depressed middle-class women whose kids are out of control and husbands have wandering eyes. Sad. Personally, I'd rather she just get a kick out of robbing some merchandise. And then this is also from another one of our own.
Pound of truth.
Yep, that'd be Irish. For my part of retail, I've had people yell at me and ready to throw hands because I can't keep their coils or juice in stock. I can't tell them when our next shipment is or what will be in it until it finally hits our system as being sent. I can't even contact anyone at shipping to tell them how much of what we actually need. They just send us what they send us, and then we're sold out again because people either stocked up or they took long to come get their items. I've actually had a customer ask why I don't just head down to my competitor store and buy off their stock and sell at our store. Because I'm not about to spend my money to fix corporate's problem with shipment planning. For context on what laws have been affecting this business, read up on the PMTA and the PACT Act. So yeah,
I know a little bit of a thing or two on that business, and yeah, it actually is a lot of state issues, state mandates. Reason why they can't get that stuff in. So if you're into that, you need to be patient. If you're I mean, we're all struggling. Literally everyone is struggling right now. So.
That is correct. And, looking at the chat real quick. So Ira said he visited Germany once. Everything was closed on Sunday, even big box. It was strange, but kind of nice. Yeah. I remember back in the States when, when I was younger, that's how it was. Here in the South, we had something called blue laws. Anything that was open on Sunday, they couldn't open until noon or later. The fuck today, people don't like being told what to do. Wear a mask, stand 6 feet apart, please don't stand up. Yeah, exactly. And I think the one common theme through every single response, from, the 3 different places of social media, the common theme was their bad behavior has been rewarded and has been, and it continues to be. And that's what got us here. Why is it getting worse? Because it's been unchecked. They've gotten away with it up until this point, so they just keep, it's like the old adage, give an inch, take a mile. And that's what they're doing. They're pushing it further down the road. And unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where it's dangerous, where people are suffering physical harm from this. And it's just really gotten to the point where the companies are at, an apex where they have to make a decision. Who are they going to back? At a very dangerous time. Karens are a mental illness should be a t-shirt. I know somebody who can make that happen. So you might be right. But yeah, I mean, we've let them get away with it forever. And it's like Irish had said in his comment, getting a phone call or having to counsel somebody about how they could have handled the situation better, even though they handled it as good as they could, and to policy. Policies just, I don't know why some of these companies bother writing them, because they don't enforce them. It's, I mean, I've been in situations where, like, my upper level bosses have been in the store and witnessed something that went down, and they intervened and they kissed the customer's ass and, gave them what they wanted. And it's just like, I can't believe it just happened. It's like, wow. That's why I'm glad that I'm no longer in management, and I don't want to be. I got a pretty isolated gig right now. I don't really have to deal with much. So, what up? Iron Maiden, you're kind of like a blister. You show up after the work's done. Just messing. Welcome. But yeah, so, I mean, the corporations have let Oh, Jason has said it perfectly. They call to tell you to do whatever it is and give them a $75 gift card for their problems. Correct. Rewarding the behavior. So,
It's literally exactly like a child. Like
right.
if you let like they test the water, see how far they can get away with it, and then they're rewarded for it. I mean, honestly, Steve, you as a customer, why wouldn't you just run in and just be that?
Exactly. Don't think for a minute that there's some Karen who's told her husband that she's going to go return something that's like 2 years old. And the husband's like, you can't do that. It's past a return policy. And she's like, oh, watch me. And she does it. It's like a challenge.
But here's the issue. You will have an actual problem that needs to go to corporate, and they do nothing for you, for a good person, because you didn't raise enough cane.
Yep, that is correct.
I have a mini story on that. That's a story for another time.
But you're right, though. I mean, it seems like the important issues corporate just doesn't care about. But by God, you get some. I mean, look at these ladies in the picture here. I mean, how many, like the lady there with the matching hair that matches her moo. How many of those have we ran across in our career? How many of those looks? I mean, how many of you can hear that picture? I can hear that picture.
Oh, I can too.
I mean,
I can absolutely hear that picture. The person on the right, you declined their coupon because it's expired.
Yep.
And the person on the left, you told them that they're layaway.
Yep. Jason says the worst is when it's upper management spouse and you have to do it or you will hear from your boss. Oh my God, that's terrible. See, that shit shouldn't happen anyway. I don't think spouses should be able to shop in the stores. And if they are, they're not allowed to say who they are to get special treatment.
Right.
Fuck today says, I won't do it. I literally told my boss it's not fair for us to be forced to take the verbal abuse from people. He said, call the police. Yeah. Maiden says policies based around customer accountability are an illusion. Yep, exactly. It's just a waste of print on a piece of paper. Oh,
don't you know how much money she spent here?
Do you know how much money I spent here? I've been shoving here since God was a child.
My God. Yeah, you coming in here buying a Mr. Pibb over and over and over.
And probably stealing too. Probably stealing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because I spent too much money here.
And that, and that's another point. Think about it. Think about all these Karens that come in raising hell. How great would it be to be like, okay, well, our corporate office said that we had to do this for you, but you do realize that technically you're stealing. I'd love to be able to say that. Watch them just get all pissed off. What do you mean I'm stealing? Well, So.
Kind of getting
boring. Jason, you know who my spouse is. You know what, Jason? That's okay. So I'm going to give you some entitled bullshit from like a celebrity. All right. So it's kind of, and it goes kind of hand in hand with what we're talking here. So when I was at Guitar Center, we had an entrance door and an exit door. Okay. And we had a person that stood in a little island in between. They were called the door person. And the door person's job was to check receipts and serial numbers as they went out the door to make sure nobody was stealing. Well, my good friend E. Diddy was working the door, and this lady starts to go leave, and E. Diddy's like, I need to check your receipt. And this lady's like, do you know who the fuck I am? And E. Diddy said, I don't give a fuck who you are. I need to see your receipt. A fight almost ensued. That person was Missy Elliott.
Oh my Lord.
Yep, true story. But that whole, do you know who I am? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. Like if you had like a recording of The Rock saying that, and you get to play it over the intercom every time somebody's like, "Do you know who I am?" Hit the button. It doesn't matter who you are. That'd be great.
That would be perfect. That's what we need more of. We need, how a lot of customers, especially if you're a TikTok fan like I am, you know how you can scroll through TikTok and you can see them trolling workers. You can see the one guy pouring milk over himself and just dancing on the register. Wouldn't it be great if workers could make it viral that they could get revenge on
Well,
customers.
here, let me go ahead and say something about that. These fuckers that get on TikTok and go wrecking stores and shit, they're just as bad as fucking Karens. They need to get punched in the fucking nuts. You're fucking up somebody's day royally if you're going into a store and jumping on a register lane and dumping milk on yourself. You deserve to go to jail for that shit. I mean, like, serious. I mean, it's not even funny, man. And it's even sadder that people find it funny. And that's just another symptom of all this. You know, these outrageous behaviors people think are humorous, and as long as people keep clicking and sharing and whatnot, they'll continue doing stupid shit. And you know, technology.
And that person will make more money than you as an essential worker. Remember that.
But you know what? I mean, God, you guys don't. Only one of you in the chat knows Jason, besides me. I wish there was a Jason at every store, and if somebody did that, they were allowed to throat punch them because Jason put a hurting on somebody.
Good.
I mean, it would be perfect. Public indecency, correct. Entitlement and disrespect.
That was my theory from earlier, how I say that social media has a lot of negative impact because people love that dopamine rush of they do something really fucked up to an employee or fucked up to a store, get a ton of likes, ton of shares.
See, and that's where technology's fucked that shit up. And Alex, I know you peruse TikTok, and I know you click likes and whatnot. You're rewarding the behavior every time you do.
Oh, I know. That's why anytime I see any of that, I don't play with that stuff.
Yeah. Jason says, put a sign on the door. My associates will treat you like you treat them. This would be an eye opener. You are correct. But as Hero says, that would require the customer to read.
Oh,
thank you. I take it as an honor from you, buddy. Yep, it is an honor because, boy, you were not somebody I would. Let me just say, if I saw you, Jason, standing at the front of a store like a security shirt on and I was some TikToker, I am not standing on a counter dumping milk on me because I figure you're going to kill me. Oh, hell no. Hey, Alex, you know, Braun Strowman, you know, these hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jason.
That. I think I would need a guaranteed contract of $10,000 plus 1 million likes for me to test that.
Yeah. Now, the one thing about putting a sign on the door, you know, you would hope that would work, but I've told the story about sitting in the parking lot at Jesus's Craft Store on a Sunday, getting ready to go in with a crew, and watching people walk up to the door and doing like this, looking in the door, and their eyeballs are literally right on the sign that says closed on Sunday.
But Irish, here's the irony of that, though. They never pay attention to the negative signs, but my God, you put buy one, get one free or 25% off.
Oh, yeah.
They don't read the little tiny little text that says it expires.
Irish.
And God forbid, Steve, where you and I worked at, Felmar, God forbid, you know, we didn't know how to take our ad down.
Oh, Lord.
They would take that
ad
off and be like,
oh, my God. At Kmart, when we had to go in and do the ad, it was like 5,000 little stickers, and it was just stupid. But anyway, what was it? Iris says, I've never known a sign that a customer paid attention to. Correct. Hero says, I'm taking you out your knees and accidentally kicking you as you lay unconscious. It was a reflex. It was one of those things. Defuck Today says, new motto, I match energy, so you decide how we are going to act today. That's great.
I mean, yeah, that's the way it should be, Defuck Today. It should be like that.
And Jason says, true, I have people come in the wrong doors all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking insanity, man. I just don't. No, I want to throw this out real quick before I forget. So the past 2 Mondays, we haven't had Misfit Mondays because of work schedules, and Alex got abducted and all this other stuff. But so this coming Monday, we are actually having a Misfit Lounge, and we're talking about wrestling. So just to let people know. Anyway,
yeah, I can't wait.
Back to the topic at hand. But yeah, so I mean, this behavior has been rewarded constantly, and you know, Proto Rage posted on Reddit, the fuck today, you need to get cultured. we talk about some great topics that you just refuse to take part in. We can learn you something. But anyway, but Proto Rage had posted this story on Reddit about doing good for others. And basically, he was at a place where an employee was getting berated by a customer, and he loudly just blew up at this person, talking about don't disrespect the employee and blah, 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 blah. We need more of that. We really do. You know, if we had more people do that, you know, I think if we were able to truly embarrass Karens, I mean, like really embarrass, I think that,
Make examples of them.
I think it would stop.
The fuck today, wrestling is not culture. Let me tell you something. The fuck today.
Yeah.
Like, you be like literally what you say in chat and literally what you have said in the past is literally a WWE promo.
Yeah, basically.
Like,
yeah.
That's what's so ironic about that.
Mm-hmm. Maiden says door. Emergency exit alarm will sound. Customer pushes door open, then panics that the alarm goes off. Yep.
They can only read if the price is a reduced price.
Yep.
And they never see expiration dates. Ever. Four Horsemen is the main team.
Iris says,
I'm doing my 4 and you can't even see me right now.
Oh, so you're John Cena. We can't see you. We can't see Alex. Iris says, I really do think it has worsened because of corporate allowing mentally ill people to enjoy abusing staff. That's why we're here. That's why these conversations are happening. Because, I mean, these companies have just allowed it. And look, I'm going to die on this hill. You know, I have talked about, you know, employees, controllable expenses, tired of getting treated like shit and blah, blah, blah. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to remember this day. I want you to remember what I'm about to say. All of these companies who have spent the past 4 months complaining that they couldn't get people to work for them because unemployment or people don't want to work anymore, in less than 60 days are going to start laying those same fucking people off without any kind of remorse because the next wave of COVID is going to dip into their profit margins. Fuck corporations. That's what's going to happen.
Just got clipped. That's a prediction for the future.
Because that's what they do. Every retailer, it doesn't matter if there's a pandemic or not. If you've been a manager, you understand and know this. Once sales go down, the first thing they do is cut payroll. Yep. They're going to use this fancy term, reduction of force or whatever.
Reduction of force.
And you know what?
Not essential.
They do that again. When they do that again, there's going to be no recovering from that. The retail industry, the retail industrial complex will shoot themselves in the foot if they lay people off this time around. It'll be over.
Yeah, they just better not. They just better not.
I posted on Twitter, it was like, 2020, we're sorry, sales are down, we're laying you off, go get on government unemployment. 2021, nobody wants to work. 2021, nobody wants to work because of unemployment. 2021, cancel unemployment. 2021, Delta hits. 2021, we lay everybody else off. 2021, unemployment's gone. They've created a crisis that's going to, you want to talk about pitchforks and shit? It's coming.
Yeah.
Go. Exactly, yeah. Jason. And then wonder why associates are not loyal to them. Retail is going to, if retail does it again, they are going to, this is going to, Q4 of this year is going to be worse than 2020 all together. I'm a football fan. Boy, if anybody's thinking about going to football games, college football, it ain't happening. I'm telling you, they're going to cut that shit off. Give them a pizza party. That will keep them. I think people have gotten tired of the pizza party, especially when all you get is Little Caesars.
Yep. Or you could be like my sister, who is like an uber essential worker. She's going to kill me if she sees this, by the way, but offer.
She's not cool enough to watch this.
Works at a hospital, Steve. They offered her a fucking popsicle.
Wow.
I said I would have taken that popsicle, shined it up real nice,
Oh God, here we go.
turned it sideways, and shoved it right up their candy ass.
Damn, Jason,
Really
that's
enough.
harsh. You get CC over, man. That's like cardboard. They might as well just give you a pizza box and call it a day. Russell says, I bought a crossbow because I can't find bullets for my rifle just in case we shut down. I'll have meat. Shit. All right, Russell.
I mean, smart
Go.
man.
Well, yeah.
Smart man.
You know, and
really got to be prepared these days.
But you know, like for instance, Jason, the fuck today. I mean, you guys are management, all right. You know, I hope you have a plan or a well stocked liquor cabinet at least, because seriously, if this goes like it's looking like it's going to go, yep, well they're going to cut people again, and I don't, you know, I'm in a situation where I don't think that would happen to me, to be honest with you. You know, I'd be quote unquote essential. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel all like sexy and special, although it don't mean shit. But anyway,
feel good about it for about the first week.
Well, like I said, my situation is a little isolated, so I don't really have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, plus,
I have weapons, so
like I say, you feel somewhat good about it. Like you feel actually kind of important, but then like you just realize you're just being fucked.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, and look, real talk, essential workers got fucked hard during the first run. They are not going to put up with it a second time, and I do not blame them at all.
Round two's had to be worse too.
Unfortunately, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jason says, last time they took care of us, I cannot complain what they did for me and my associates when we shut down. You know, there were a few companies that really did. And you know, Jason, I'll say this, I did not enjoy my time with that company. You know, we've had that conversation about the DMs and whatnot. But I will say, and I've said this before, that from a staffing model and whatnot, I think TJX Corporation is far more generous with staffing and payroll than any other retailer I've ever seen. And I stand by that. I really do. And, you know, it's, you know, that just wasn't for me. And, you know, that happens sometimes. But I think there's not a lot of bad there. I think there's a lot of bad seeds, but I don't think the company itself is terrible. So hopefully they'll do the same for you guys, you know, because it's going to be rough. It's really, really going to be rough. I mean, we're going into Q4. Philly, essential employee on Twitter had posted something like, you know, what was the over-under on when, you know, essential workers would start getting treated like shit again during round 2. And my answer was January, because they need you for Christmas. But once Christmas is over, they're going to be like, fuck you, we don't need you. So.
Yep. As me and a friend used to call it at Felmart. The Felmart Cleaver.
Yeah. Iris says, business here are having a hard time finding retail workers, food service workers in particular. Same here. And you've got, it really is. It's a left and right thing. And I don't mean that from a political standpoint. It's left, right, yin, yang. I mean, it's polar opposites. There's no in between. You've got a group of people who think that restaurant and retail can't hire people because people are lazy and because of unemployment. And then you got people on the other side saying, well, the reason they're not getting anybody is people's tired of the shit. There's no in between. I mean, there's some people I know that I've tried to educate. Boy, let me tell you something. I had a conversation with somebody that recently that was talking about how painful basically their gig was. And I proceeded to go down a path where they could not understand when I told them, you have it made. You would have thought I grew 4 fucking heads when I told them that I had a certain appreciation for what I was doing that they did not have, because they would not survive where I came from. All right. And, you know, all right, Jason, peace out. See you next time. But, you know, you cannot have these conversations with some people. I mean, I had to try to explain to somebody recently that, you know, that you got the sign on the door, you know, nobody wants to work, blah blah blah, government, blah blah blah. And my response was, well, I'm sure, you know, making $2.13 an hour plus tips, expecting your patrons to make up the difference in what you won't pay, has nothing to do with them wanting to work there. Not at all, surely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just asinine. And I'm telling you, these are brick walls. There's no convincing them. They're going. When I say I'm going to die on a hill, they're going to die on those mountains. I mean, there is no getting through to them whatsoever. They just don't see it that way. You could throw up pie charts. Hell, you could have the you could have Jesus stand in front of them with all the facts, and Jesus tell them, you know, everything that's going on, and they be like, nope, they're just lazy. I mean, that's how set in their ways they are. So, you know,
Yeah.
the fuck today says, and I've become the fixer again, getting sent everywhere. Man, that is not a good place to be right now. The fuck today, you need to get out of that role because you're gonna get beat to hell here in the next 6 to 12 weeks.
Oof. Yeah, I was just reading that. I was also reading Lowe's comment.
Yeah, ahoy, Sponge Boy, me Bob.
To not die laughing.
You know, Lo, that says, you know, some people, Alex will laugh at it, but that's about as normal as it gets. I mean, I would not,
Yeah.
it would not surprise me at all to hear that come out of somebody's mouth. That's where we're at.
That is 100% where we're at.
Maiden says, Logan, I had a family in front of their kids cuss out our staff because they waited too long for their food. Even though we only have 5 employees running the whole restaurant, they waited 15 minutes. Wow. You know,
well, the fact that they only had to wait 15 minutes, they should be fucking thankful.
There's a local restaurant here that I mean is consistent. I mean, it's been around since I was in high school, all right? And I've never had a bad meal there. And they're having staffing issues too. All right. And we go, and it took us like 45 minutes to get our food. But we just sat there and talked and looked at our phones or whatnot. And, you know, I might start to get a little antsy. And then Hero like kick me and be like, don't do that. And I'm like, cause I was hangry, you know. But at the same time, I didn't fuss or anything. I mean, the waitress did the best she could do. She had the entire half of the restaurant to herself. It's not my fault. Or her fault, you know. They didn't have they were cooking shit as fast as they could, and guess what? You know, might have taken 45 minutes, but damn, that burger was fucking great. It was all good.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, the hungrier you get, the better food tastes.
Now, if I'd have waited 45 minutes and the food was shit, that's a different story. But no, it you know, never a bad meal there ever. But I mean, it happens, and it takes us that have worked in the business, you know, for some period of time, to temper our expectations and understand what everybody's going through and be patient, you know. And Hero will tell you, patience is not one of my strong points. It never has been, especially when it comes to food.
That must be our last name, Steve. That must just be something that runs in our last name, because I have like zero patience as well.
I have, you know, look, I haven't shown out in the store. But I have, and I'll be honest with you, I'm full disclosure, I have asked for managers in restaurants before, but like pre-COVID, before shit was weird, you know. But now I just have to be like, okay, look, everybody's going through the same thing. These people are working as hard as they can, you know. So I'm not gonna be an asshole.
I mean, but there does come a point though, like what I teased a little bit earlier about my story, where you should be able to call corporate sometimes. But, you know, the good people that call for legitimate reasons are never rewarded. But I was sitting in line. I don't even care. I'm going to say unless you want me to say the company name? Because I'm kind of mad at them right now.
I don't care.
So I was going through the line at Burger King. And I put
by the way, fuck Burger King.
Seriously. I'm so mad at Burger
King. My family loves Burger King burgers. I think they're highly overrated, but go ahead.
I actually really like Burger King. But
fuck a Whopper.
I'm pissed at them right now. So I put in a mobile order for every restaurant I go to make it easier on the person working there.
Well, that's mistake number one. Because trust me, mobile orders are not making it easier for anybody in these restaurants because they have been properly trained.
Well, that's what I get told at God's Chicken Restaurant. They're
Wow.
like, "Thank you for putting in mobile order. It makes it so much easier for us."
Oh,
But
I done made Hero mad.
so
Oh,
I wait through the line. Got my mobile order in. Lady at the window tells me, "I don't see your order." Okay. Well, I mean, it said that I could dine in, pick it up from inside because I didn't want to wait through a ridiculous drive through that is just now a thing where I live every day. If you're not in my town by 11:30, you're just fucked.
right.
Don't know if it's like that in anyone else's area. Just comment if it is. I said I had to make it dine in, but this is the order. Okay. I pull around. And when you get someone tell you that, I'm sorry, you're not worth my time, I'm not going to sit here and deal with you. Like,
Oh,
what the fuck?
you were told that?
I was absolutely told that.
Oh, now see, that's out of fucking hand.
And so
that's
I tried to get in
unacceptable.
touch with corporate just to get my refund, and they have no numbers or anything that you can call. Nothing.
Well, you gotta think. I mean, Burger King's a franchise, so they probably got that stuff on lockdown. A couple things I
I
want
couldn't
to.
even find the franchise owner, dude.
Oh, nice. They typically have it on the sign in the window, but anyway.
Oh yeah, nope. You X'd out. Like,
Well, let me get some comments in the chat here. Irish, here at least a major problem with retail work is that there is no longer any payoff. You don't get the better career prospects. You can't afford rent. You don't get the same reward for working retail. Correct. But hey, Irish, you get an opportunity. And low, that's unfortunate about Culver's because we actually ate at Culver's about 2 hours ago. I think Culver's has one of the most amazing burgers ever. My favorite burger right now, it has been for years, is Ted's Montana Cafe or Montana Grill. Best burger ever. Number two, fucking Culver's, man. Culver's, that's a great burger.
see, I never have got to try Culver's.
Oh, dude, son. Ooh, have you tried Freddy's?
I have. I love Freddy's.
You love Freddy's? Okay, Culver's smacks Freddy's around. Culver's burger, woo boy. They even have little TVs playing in their restaurants showing how what cuts of meat, and they use like short rib and like ground chuck. It's like 3 different cuts of meat. And if you watch any kind of cooking show, they tell you those 3 kinds of meat are like the magical, formula for burgers. Culver's burgers kick ass.
Yeah, because I always thought that Jack's was like high tier steak and shake.
Oh, fuck no. Fuck Jack's. Jack sucks. It used to be good.
Compared to Culver's.
It's not even good. Culver's burger is kind of life changing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
I'm all about
we're
right now.
We're talking about Ted's Montana Grill, which is pretty high dollar. All right, they grind their meat in house. Their burgers are fantastic, and I'm telling you, that's my first place burger. My second place burger is fucking Culver's. That ought to tell you something.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yep. Maiden says, so that's an interesting conversation, getting awful customer service somewhere when we all know how we were trained to give great customer service. Yeah, that is, and I will say that does make it hard for people in the business is like, for instance, what Alex just talked about he had to go through being told, you're not worth my time or whatnot. Alex was trained better than that. Alex knows better. And it's real hard when you've worked in the business and you hear shit like that to keep your head from spinning, like The Exorcist completely around because you just want to lose it. You're like, oh. But
you want to lose it, but at the same time, when you have been on the other end of that and have a customer lose their shit on you, you just know to be professional about it. And that's what it all circles back to.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking about, customer behaviors being so bad. Us people that work in the business, we find ourselves biting our tongues because we don't want to be those customers. All right. And we're consciously making ourselves aware we're not going to be that way. But there are some places that will try your patience. Like, for instance, Hero says Malnart, nice code, was doing incantations to summon my inner Karen one day. Steve won that too. Yeah, Alex, I think you actually saw the message where I messaged our Alabama friend saying, why are the Walmarts here so fucking terrible? Yeah. True story. All right. And Walmart is not a staffing problem here. They got plenty of staff. Okay. So if it was a non-staffing situation, I'd be all right. This was not a staffing situation. So I make a phone call And I call. I'm like, I'm looking for such and such phone. Yep, we got it. All right, cool. Can you hold it for me? Yep, I'm almost there. Fine. So I get in and I walk and I'm like, and there's a gentleman in a wheelchair. He's like, man, can I help you? I'm like, yeah. I just called and they're supposed to be holding the phone for me. And he looks me straight in the face. He goes, um, I don't know who you spoke to, but they should be here in a second. I'm like, okay, cool, fine. And then he tried to sell me an upgrade on the phone. I'm like, no, this is what I want. He's like, okay. And then he proceeded to start helping other customers. I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I could see on the counter where they had the note and the card for this phone, right? I'm like, why can't you just go get the phone? So I waited 15 minutes for this person to show up. And he's like, yeah, let me go get it. And then he goes to the back. I stood at the electronics department at Walmart for 35 minutes for this dude to come back and tell me it wasn't the right phone. Boy. And I just said, all right, man, thanks. And while I didn't show my ass, I did. But boy, that was a hard one. That was really
yeah,
hard
you
one.
just gotta be the bigger person.
Yeah.
You've been on the other end of that.
Yeah, but Hero says it was 45 minutes. Okay, I lost time, but yeah. Big Daddy Burger is the best. No, too expensive, bro. You talking about Big Daddy Burger Bar? We tried there. 4 of us eating was damn near $80. Sorry, and shit, it's cheaper to eat at fucking Ted's. But anyway, going back to customer behaviors. But yeah, I mean, we're sitting here, we're dealing with this stuff because the companies we worked for have rewarded their behavior. I think Irish Connection's whole thing about kleptomania was 100% spot on, really. And I think what Blame Tag wrote from Twitter was spot on. You know, Maiden, if you would have been on time, you could have seen that. Just saying. Irish says, why customers got worse? Because they were allowed to, and it is easier for manager staff to fold than to get a call from corporate to explain bad review. Yes, 100%. 100%. So,
hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Funny because that was kept anonymous. I figured who that was who posted it based on their text style.
I said that it was one of our own. I'm just messing, Maiden. I'm just messing. No harm, no foul.
Hey, there's always the tube. Always the tube.
Always the tube. You can watch the replay. But yeah, I mean, it's so here's where we sit. So we know the behaviors have gotten worse, and we know the frontline associates have to deal with it. Okay. So who needs to be held accountable? Corporate needs to be held accountable because they're the ones who have created this. The corporate is the one who corporate created Karens. Plain and simple. They created Karens by this whole the customer is always right even when they're wrong. That's really what the slogan should be. The customer is always right even when they're wrong. That's where we're at. That's why we are here. All right. And
you want to know a really good example of that? And it's actually hilarious. It comes from a children's show. And it's sad that it takes a children's fucking show to teach adults this. Has anyone ever seen the episode of SpongeBob called The Krabby Towers?
Nope.
We shall never deny a request, even the most ridiculous request. And it takes Squidward quitting, walking out. He returns as the customer and just to teach them a lesson, just does the most ridiculous shit possible. And then it burns. It actually results in Mr. Krabs losing his business and everything, like in the end of the episode, just to teach a lesson. Like it's actually incredible. But
it shows that you can learn stuff in the craziest places. Maiden says we taught them that can be shitty, so they'll be shitty. Exactly. I mean, we talk about all this stuff and we all are on the same page. And the reality comes down to we can complain about Karens and Kyles all day long. But It's the corporations that have to be held accountable. Their feet have to be put to the fire. And Hero says not enough pot smokers in the chat to memorize SpongeBob episodes, Alex. but here's the thing. You know, it's kind of like, I wish that at least employees had the opportunity to tell Karen, "Hey, look, you're yelling at the wrong person. Here, let me give you this phone number, or let me give you this email." You know, I had posted it back on Twitter again the other night. You know, in 2014, I wrote a blog called "How the Customer Service Experience is Like Selling Snake Oil," because customers really feel like they do matter, and they really don't. They think they do, and corporations have made them think that they do. But corporations have budgets set aside to give away gift cards to keep people from coming, to keep people coming back, no matter what kind of experience they have. And, in there I said, rather than taking your frustrations out on a cashier or a manager, why don't you call corporate and take your frustrations out on the people that make the decisions? You come into a store and you're mad because there's not enough staff there to help you and wait on you hand and foot. And that's in 2014 is when I had the epiphany of calling employees controllable expenses. If you go to our Twitter, you'll see the post. Or if you go to the website, actually, the new website, you'll see the post. And that's true, because what corporations have done is they've hired a bunch of people to work in stores to be the targets and absorb all the negative energy and interactions from the customer base. Corporations play,
more specifically the cashiers,
yeah,
more specifically at restaurants, the order.
And and I'll say it again, the moment we have a corporation pop up and say, "Hey, we are going to focus completely on employee treatment, benefits, mental health. We're not going to allow customers to treat our employees a certain way," and they really mean it and they stand by it, and God, I wish I had the capital to start a company like that, because I would, just purely out of spite, that company will rule the roost. And that company will be able to expand, and that company will be able to prosper, because tons of people will want to work with them. But until the corporations are held in check, it's futile. And I just hate seeing that we're now to a point where you got cashiers getting in fist fights with customers. It should never be that way. Irish says corporate will never be on the side of the employee. Society and their attitudes need to change. Correct.
On the subject of customers acting crazy for viral clicks on TikTok, there was one I seen. It was at McDonald's, hilariously enough, and the dude was just so ridiculous to the cashier that it went viral because the cashier jumped the desk and beat the shit out of the dude.
Okay, Alex, I want you to try to entertain for a second. I'm going to try to see if I can pull something up here. Hold on. I think this will be funny. Hold on.
Try and entertain for a second.
Hold on.
Chad, I'm sick tonight. Don't know if y'all noticed. Sounds like the cashier should get a promotion. Oh, she did. She became TikTok famous. Have we ever encountered?
What?
Jesus, Steve, that volume on that.
Sorry.
Have we ever encountered someone who worked with customer service centers numbers, these businesses, and gotten their input and perspective? Just curious. That would be an interesting show. Okay. Try and entertain. This man hasn't streamed in 14 years. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna go for another 14 before I stream again.
Oh wow, that's funny stuff. All right, so I'm trying to do something here before we close this out. Hold on.
Steve, I do have a question for you though, real quick.
Sure.
If we could ever get like a corporate, like pro corporate guy, right?
This is the checkers game where
We could ever
grandson
get just
and
like a
granddad
super
will
pro
bond.
corporate guy the show.
This
We
is
named
the
the
kitchen
segment
where
like
the
the
new
retail
boyfriend will
Warzone
unofficially
cage
become
match.
family.
Maybe. All right, guys. Can y'all see the YouTube window?
Yes.
All right. I discovered this, and this is some hilarious stuff. Is it big enough for everybody to see, or do I need to make it full screen?
Well, that should be fine.
All right. This is Karen Metal.
Copyright strike or anything.
Here we go.
Excuse. Now you are. Oh my God! Oh my God! This. Oh God! No.
The audio isn't really coming through.
Now you are. Oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you.
Giving like every other sound of the video.
You keep lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording.
Good
to protect
attempt.
myself.
Good attempt.
All right. So I forgot to turn the mic back on. You guys go Google Karen Metal and watch that stuff. Maiden, you will enjoy it greatly. So, she probably works retail. Nice. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
No, you're good. They was talking about the YouTube video.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you guys go check that out because it's actually pretty righteous. And the guy does like all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Here I am. I know there's a lag, so my audio was fixed before you guys, we were off there. So, but anyway, guys, I think the ultimate answer to why is customer behavior getting worse is corporations allow it. And that's a problem. And that's why we're here. Now, next week, hopefully, as it stands right now, Blame Tag will be on the show with us via microphone. So he'll be speaking. So I'm looking forward to that because this just is kind of like a little primer and discussion to get us to the employee customer relationship being broken. And that is something that he had messaged me a very long time ago about something that he wanted to discuss, and he thought it would be a great topic. And I think it's excellent that he will be on the show to talk about it because he's extremely intelligent and he works in the business and he understands. And, he has a lot to say about it. And Maiden, you didn't get to see it, but if you go back and watch the replay, or if you just go to our Twitter page and look, at a feed I retweeted from It's on Sale, giving his opinion as to why customer behavior has gotten worse, you'll kind of understand what we're dealing with, come next week. And I'm really looking forward to having him on. I've tried to get him on before, so I think it'll be really, really good. And hopefully we get a pretty good turnout. Tonight was pretty low turnout. I think a lot of people had to work and whatnot. Everybody that kind of supports this stuff, we're all working in retail, so it's not like you get to get off, every night that you want to. But I will say I got lucky this time around. When I got this job, I was like, the only requirement I had was Wednesdays. Well, Wednesday's my permanent day off, so that's great. So it worked out perfectly. And
it's dead smack center of the week. So.
Yeah, it's dead center of the week when it's slow and whatnot. Monday night, we're going to be talking wrestling. I know the fuck today, you don't think that's culture. If you don't have Ric Flair in your life, you are lacking culture. Especially if you don't know what the NWO is, you're definitely lacking culture. And if you are not a Sting fan, there's no hope for you. So we're going to be talking wrestling Monday night. It'll be good. There's a lot that's went on. Maiden, are you a wrestling fan? Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, Maiden always talks about, like, Maiden catches my little WWE references in there.
Stay in your lane. Russell, I'll come through the screen and choke you out. Sting
Russell?
does not suck.
I was for Triple H.
Well, you would be. You're a bandwagon rider anyway. It doesn't surprise me.
Not.
Yeah. Oh, OMG, I'm so ready. So, Maiden, did you see the thumbnail of Alex with the belt? I'm working in 6 hours, but I won't miss Wednesday. Great. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about Braun Strowman getting released. We're going to be talking about Bray Wyatt getting released, which is weird. A lot of shit going down in wrestling.
I've been on the dirt sheet about that.
Yeah, I've been all over. I check the dirt sheets every day. That's something a lot of people don't know. I mean, I check dirt sheets every day for years.
The dirt sheet is what makes WWE so fun and wrestling in general.
I'm really excited about CM Punk.
I'm excited about Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan never did anything, but CM Punk, that's a big deal. Oh,
CM Punk's
Russell, you talk about horsemen. Okay, you know who's in AEW, right? Arn Anderson's in AEW, right, Alex?
Oh.
So guess who just asked for the release and got it from WWE? Ric Flair.
Flair about to be
oh yeah,
over to AEW.
Because people don't understand AEW, the owner of AEW's dad owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they got more money than God. So he's financing his son's hobby. So it's great. But anyway, we're sitting here at an hour 12. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Next week's going to be an important one. Like I said, we're going to have, hopefully have a guest with us. It's going to be great. So everybody have a great night. If you're into wrestling, we'll see you Monday night. We're going to convince Alex to go completely AEW and be the new Juventud Guerrera. So that'll be cool. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you next time.